Welcome to Double Shot of Steelers. I'm Dejan Kovacevic. He's Chris Halleck. We cover a team that's headed to the playoffs. These guys, we're covering them next Monday here. Houston. Thank you. The Houston Texans, thank you for your kind welcome. Pittsburgh, what is this thing supposed to be? You spent a big part of your life in Texas. What is that thing? It's like a cow?
I have no freaking idea. I lived in Dallas. I didn't live in Houston.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It really is like two different countries, by the way. It's like Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. They're just not the same.
They're not the same. They're actually really far apart. It's a 5-hour drive.
Yeah, Dallas and Houston is not the same.
Now, and also in Houston, they have on their streets cockroaches the size of small dogs.
Yeah, thank God we're not going there.
What they should have called the franchise. The Houston cockroaches the size of small dogs. What's going on? We got some visitors here. How are you? Come on in and introduce yourself.
Oh, hey. I'm Will from Toledo.
He's Will from Toledo. You can go hide. Oh, she's hiding over there. Come on in. This is girlfriend of Will from Toledo.
Yep, I'm Lindsay.
There you are. So we have visitors here. You got yourself huh?
So we better be Baltimore.
Well, I already took care of that. You're talking about Houston now. Guys, it's a Monday night matchup. That's an 8:15 p.m. kickoff between the Steelers and the Texans. It buys the team an extra day. It buys, of course, a second life for DK Metcalf. Chris, you were over at the facility today. How was number 4?
I that's a phenomenal comment through me for the Houston cucarachas.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
That's good stuff.
Whatever the size of small dogs is, could be added to that in Spanish.
The Houston mucho cucarachas,
That's right.
Yeah, I don't know. But my Spanish
cucarachas like chihuahuas.
Yeah. Now Metcalf, he was as straightforward as he could be about the situation. It's very, very obvious that he just wasn't going to talk about the situation. You know what happened.
I don't know that he can, in fairness. I don't think that's him hiding.
No, I don't think it's him hiding either. I mean, shoot, whenever we've seen players want to say something, they've said it. I mean, Jaylen Ramsey, who even last night was one of the first players to leave the locker room. Even he stayed after Jamar Chase spat on him, so he could tell us, yeah, he spat on me. When players want to say something,
it's not the same though. It's one of them is getting, the other guy, the blue-haired idiot, has sent all kinds of messages vocally, including this stupid little press conference that I can't believe anybody even covered. It's that all they want to do is to try to get some money out of him. That's what the whole thing was about.
Yeah,
and so why should he feed into that by showing up in front of cameras and microphones? This thing has already cost him a ton of money.
Oh yeah,
and a lot else.
Yeah, for sure. But no, he just, I think 5 different attempts. He just kept saying, "Yeah, I can't talk about it. I can't talk about it. I can't walk through you guys. Walk through anything." But that's why, first question, I just asked him, "Hey, how does it feel to be back in the building?" And that's, you could tell, man. He was riding. He even talked about it. He was riding the roller coaster. He was, yeah. He's ready to be back. He's grateful that his teammates were able to pick him up to win the division, to give him an opportunity to play again this season, and yeah, he's back, and I think he's gonna be pretty motivated too.
Well, here's a little bit from him in his own words this afternoon on the South Side.
Well, how does it feel to be back in the building, man?
Great, especially we get to play another game. My teammates gave me another opportunity to come back, so just big shout out to them.
DK, what were the emotions like watching last night?
Roller coaster. I couldn't watch some moments because of my anxiety getting too loud, but just happy my teammates got the dub.
How hard has it been to be away?
Very difficult, but thanks to the NFL for allowing me just to come up here and still work out and get some training in.
Where were you watching the game from?
My house.
DK, can you explain to us what happened in Detroit?
You had to be the one to ask them. No, I can't.
What
Is there
was
anything-
that
is there-
process like as far as the appeals and talking with the NFL? Just kind of, can you walk us through that process?
I can't walk y'all through nothing that happened.
Were you surprised that the appeal was about and didn't go the other way?
Yeah, but that's all I can say.
I respect that you don't and can't really go into a lot of it, but is there anything you would like to clarify about misinformation or anything else like that?
I can't say nothing about what happened.
Is
got
that
you.
because there's
I
ongoing
can't say
legal stuff?
anything about what happened for the 5th time.
Now that's him getting a little irritated, and understandably, he is literally repeating the same thing again and again and again.
Yeah.
I hope that through the first probably about 40 seconds or so of that clip, you can see what Metcalf's demeanor is like. I have a feeling that there's a lot of people who don't know anything about him, like at all, off the field, who painted him a certain way because of one 10-second clip that they saw. He's like, this just isn't some bad dude. This isn't some dummy.
No.
You know, on top of that, I mean, this is a bright guy who's got it together. And it's one of the reasons why when this occurred, I was like, man, this is going to cast him in entirely the wrong light. And I mean wrong as in not unfair to that's just not who he is by default. What you saw there is him, I think, and then until, you know, he's getting the same question 5 times and realized that he's only got one way to move on. So he did.
Yeah, the one thing that I saw from several fans was, well, they just traded one receiver, problematic receiver, to get it. Like,
oh God, no.
Listen. The problems with George Pickens versus the problems with DK Metcalf are not the same. And the biggest reason why is George Pickens was a problem enough where players were pulling reporters such as myself and DK aside unsolicitedly to complain about the guy, to talk about how much of a problem he was in that room, not just on the field, but in that room. I have heard nothing but great things from his teammates about Metcalf. Like it's night and day when it comes to how much they respect him.
You can see it. When these guys, I thought this was interesting too. I was speaking, this was well after the game last night with Marquez Valdez-Scantling, who, by the way, stick it to me and a lot of other people who said he shouldn't get a helmet. No, I'm here. I'm always accountable the next day. Okay, if he says, if I say MVS shouldn't get a helmet, you know, I'm going to be there and I'm going to talk to him afterward, and I'm going to say, hey, you know, he balled out, which he did. He played really well. It wasn't a big yardage total, but he came up with some big catches that were needed at vital times.
Third down one, I think about. Yeah.
Yep. And he gained enough separation. He ran the right routes. He got it done. He's not what he was. Let's not be stupid here. But I asked him about, actually, we were just talking about the Metcalf impact in general. And he was the one who brought up, he said, you know, we're getting our guy back next week. That's where it's going to be great to have him. He said that's our leader. This isn't somebody that they're dragging along for the ride, which is what you do with Pickens. Okay. Yeah. This is an important person in that room. And that's the reason that they stood by him. That's the reason that Cam Hayward spoke up last week saying, why does the NFL ban them from the locker room? Like, what is that all about?
Yeah.
Who are you punishing in that sense?
Yeah.
You know, he's already losing 2 game checks and everything else here. Never mind that the whole thing is so stupid that I still can't get past that part of it. The whole thing is so stupid, and to have it be 2 games, potentially, if the Steelers were jerks, $45 million in guaranteed money that would go out the window.
Yep.
For 10 seconds of like whatever that was, like poking the blue-haired idiot.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not the same situation at all. No, it's an unfortunate thing that happened, and even Metcalf later on, like I said, he accepts full responsibility for his actions. But what's done is done, and they moved past it. The team was fortunate enough to get the win last night, to win the division, to get into the playoffs, and now they are at full strength as at full strength as you can be in January. I mean, yeah, they're not going to have Darnell Washington. They're not going to have Deshaun Elliott, but man, like you talk about like having everybody available.
It's a nice lack of parentheses plus, and they were all talking about this last night in the room. There's that extra day.
Oh yeah.
And as much as it'll be a pain to have a short week if they were to prevail over the Texans after that, it's a really welcome thing to have a Monday game. And Tomlin pointed out himself because of the physical nature of that game last night. Dr. K says that he's got to order his T-shirt and hat. If you haven't seen the T-shirts that the Steelers are selling, they say been there, won that. It's the ones that if you might have seen TJ Watt wearing it last night, they were all. I don't know if they come officially with a cigar smell, which would be amazing. I can't even tell you. That stuff was so thick.
Oh
when
yeah.
you walked into the room, you couldn't breathe properly, and you couldn't see. Like I walk into any Steelers locker room, home or road, and the first thing I'm looking for is the offensive lineman. They're at the far end. I've been doing that for years. I couldn't find them.
Yeah.
And then Herbig walks past me like this. Hey. She's a comic over there, but she really should be ordering these shirts. It's the it says been there, won that, and it says AFC North champs under it. She's getting right on that.
That's how you think I'll have them tomorrow.
Just like that.
Oh, is that what it is?
They're so fast.
Oh, yeah.
And don't ask whatever happens to those shirts, by the way. If
Like the ones that don't get used.
No. That if that kick goes through the uprights.
Yeah, because there were Ravens ones that were made because if that kick goes through the uprights, they would have been wearing theirs.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, there are a lot of kids running around in those somewhere.
Well, yeah, like on the other side of the planet somewhere, in the desert, whatever. Ravens, AFC North champs. Couple of points of order here from our people. Skunkwork says, shout out to Jaylen Warren. He was awesome. She's digging through the Moe's bag and making all this noise over here. She can't avoid the Moe's that's in the bag here. Jaylen ran hard. He ran really hard. The numbers were modest. It was like 66 yards on the ground, 33 in the air. He ran hard. And to me, there's an inspiration when you see that because the Ravens did not want the Steelers to run the football, and they did anyway. And that was because of Jaylen and because of that line.
Yeah, the line, I mean, we talked about it. The line has really, really stepped up over the last several weeks. And not just in terms of pass protection, but in terms of creating running lanes for both Warren and Gainwell. And no, it wasn't the longest run, but I also think about the job that was done to allow Gainwell to get into the end zone on the 2-yard run. This line is really, I mean, like the fact that we aren't really talking about them very often is just pretty indicative of just how well they're playing right now.
And they're feeling it too. Last night I spent some time with 3 of them, including our star, as Zach Frazier described it, Dylan Cook, who really needs to just be having podium press conferences at this point anymore. They had some guys who made some big plays, and there was none bigger, I thought, than the Kenny Gainwell touchdown where you saw Troy Fautanu with the lead block coming way out to his right, like Marquise style. But Mason McCormick also did a really good job sealing on that side.
And that's not easy to do.
No, not from that angle.
Nope.
Not from that angle. And Mason has to get his side. Troy has to get his side. And all Kenny has to do is find the Red Sea somewhere in between them. And he did. And he goes in untouched. That's a very nice touchdown. It's finally a good play call down there where you just look at it and you go, okay, Arthur, that's all you needed to do. You know, it didn't have to be all this hard. You didn't have to be, dialing up all kinds of crafty passes and everything else here. As long as you're going to send your guy out there, meaning Gainwell, send him to a side where there are blockers. This is going to win for comment of the day, and not just because Dan comes up with $5.44 as some sort of abstract contribution for us. Says, why isn't anyone talking about how Baltimore lost because they were more concerned about TJ Watt getting 16 sacks to break some record than winning the game? And he comes in with the obligatory sarcasm emoji. In a year of crazy, ill-advised, dumb things that have ever come up, there remains nothing dumber in my eyes than this. The Steelers were trying to keep Myles Garrett from getting the record against them. It's being so victimized by the broadcast that I can't even put it into words. Nobody cared. Mm-hmm. Nobody cared. Nobody even knew it was a thing. Just because your TV people are pounding it at you, Myles Garrett in the record, Myles Garrett in the record. If you're in stadium, to borrow one of Mike Tomlin's terms, and we're in stadium, press box, fans, whatever else, you're watching a football game. I keep telling everybody, just turn the sound down. Turn the sound down.
Yeah, and just because it's something that the broadcasters are fixated on does not mean it's something that the players are fixated on. That is oh gosh, man. Yeah. I'm gonna pass it back to you.
Nick Herbig, Joe the Steeler fan says Arthur Smith had better utilize Pat Freiermuth for 4 full quarters next Monday if the Steelers want to win. Yes, and pigs will fly across the stadium over the river. It's not going to happen. I don't know why.
They're gonna need all hands on deck.
Well, one thing that's probably not going to get appreciated as much as it should, ironically, considering his status in our football society, was that Aaron Rodgers had himself a game. And if you're going to cut up Rodgers for the way he performed in Cleveland and then not notice what he did in particular in the fourth quarter of this game, when the team had its figurative back against the wall, its season on the line, fourth quarter, Aaron goes 11 of 14. He fires over the middle. He goes deep over the middle. He goes deep for a touchdown, correctly seeing that Calvin Austin had broken the ankles of – who was that? I have the name here.
Awuzie.
I want full name. He should be famous for that scene right there. This is my – what am I doing with it?
Chidobe Awuzie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cal beat him. I think Cal beat him. There's been some references that I've seen, including in written copy, to how that guy slipped. No, Cal beat him.
Oh no,
Cal made him slip.
Yeah. You don't just. He wasn't just slipping out of a back pedal because Calvin. No.
No. He got scorched out there, but Aaron's watching it. Aaron said that he remembered a couple of guys in his huddle. He said he wasn't sure if it was Freiermuth or McCormick saying something like, just go get him.
Yeah.
Just go get him. That route, by the way, guess who that route belongs to?
DK Metcalf.
That's correct, pal.
Mm-hmm.
That's correct. And guess who had to work on it all week long to try to make it happen? Calvin Austin. And Cal said he'll be happy to give DK's pages back to him. In that book, because we also saw times where it didn't work.
No, absolutely. And listen, it was very, very evident and very, very clear that this offense was missing Metcalf big time. I mean, Cleveland exposed it. Baltimore tried to replicate it, and again, I think the difference is Aaron's performance. And yeah, listen. My chalk talk the week before was talking about how Aaron did not play well, how he got into that whole I'm determining what I'm going to do pre-snap, blah, 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 all that stuff. Well, this week's chalk talk is going to be breaking down that second half. It's going to be talking about like what all did Aaron do, because you can't have a performance like that and not – I mean, you talk about bouncing back. That was – as close to vintage Rodgers for an extended period
Oh,
of
yeah.
time.
Oh,
all
yeah.
season long.
All season long.
Yeah, there
And
were
he's
certain
had
plays.
his stretches too. This wasn't like some kind of great anomaly.
No, he's had his plays every now and then where you're like, whoa, 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 there's the MVP Rodgers right there. But it's been sprinkled. This was for pretty much an entire half, starting really like becoming evident with that pass to Thielen down the seam, where it was perfectly placed in tight coverage by Marlon Humphrey on Adam Thielen. It was a phenomenal performance by Aaron, and they don't win the game. And that's what we're talking about before the season even began. What does Aaron bring? Why do you bring Aaron Rodgers in? It's not because of what you can get with a floor. Mason Rudolph gives you a high floor, but it's what can Rodgers do to bump the ceiling up a bit? And if he can tap into the fountain of youth and put the Superman cape on for however long, that's
Everything
what can
changes.
raise the ceiling. And that's why the Steelers are not just in the playoffs, but have won their division and are hosting the Texans next Monday night.
Everything changes. Zach says here, getting here late, but have we talked yet about future Hall of Famer Cam Hayward yet? Talk about leaving it all on the field.
My gosh.
Cam, that's a really good way to put it, Zach. I don't even have a follow-up to that wording because that's what he did. He said, this isn't him actually talking. This is through his play, what I'm thinking when I'm watching him. I don't know how many cracks I'm going to have at this. I haven't won a playoff game, in whatever. TJ Watt's never won a playoff game. And when you see the two of them combine for that play the way that they did, that on top of everything else Cam was doing, just not enough can be said.
Oh, he was a wrecking ball.
For he was a wrecking ball into his own brother too.
Yeah.
And he puts all this out there. It's beautiful to watch. TJ gets the pick. TJ, of all people, coming in off the lung. That crowd, which is exactly what I want to talk about now.
Mm-hmm.
The response to that. Chris, you said something to me around that time in the press box that I am going to ask you. You don't have to ask you to share with everybody when you heard that sound that the crowd made.
I don't remember what I even said.
You'd never heard it that loud there.
Oh yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, not that there have been that many like big moments in the time that I've been covering the Steelers. I think before then, maybe like one of the biggest like plays that I can remember was like Kenny Pickett hitting George Pickens for the game-winning touchdown against the Raiders on Christmas Eve.
Mm-hmm.
Like those type of plays, which are, they're big, they're nice, but that was a moment in which the Steelers are coming back. They just tied the game, and then the defense. There's something about when the Steelers make a play either in the running game, like running the football, or when they make a play on defense that just gets this city. It hits different.
It's different. Yeah.
It hits different. And when the defense is able to make a play, to step up, to take the ball away, you heard that release of all right. Like, it was special. It was special.
I couldn't disagree more with Denny here, who says dude just fell down in reference to the. No, he did not. Well, you haven't seen it twice, Denny. I don't have to wonder if you've seen it twice. He got him. He got him good. Let's see what else we got here from within our crowd here. And there's a lot of people in here today. We're already up to a couple of thousand here. Tyler Johnson says, unpopular hot take, Peyton Wilson should be inserted back in. He will be over Malik Harrison. They had a unique challenge.
Yeah.
And for us to have spent so much time this week talking about Derrick Henry this and Derrick Henry that, it's funny how after Henry was totally shut down, nobody's even bringing him up. Meaning in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just to be fair here, I thought they were impressive. Is there anybody that stood out for you in that regard?
Like in terms of stopping Henry in the second half?
Mm-hmm.
Well, outside of Cam. I don't know if Benton actually got to him.
He did.
a couple of times, but
Yep.
Benton, I thought, had a really great game.
He had the numbers to show it, which he usually doesn't. A normal Benton line.
He had 7 tackles last night.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. A normal Benton line gets you 1 or 2 tackles. It's just not really what he's being asked to do there.
Mm-hmm.
The Steelers got off their blocks. The Steelers made a terrific adjustment, according to the players themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And what Desezi Otomewo in particular told me, Otomewo was out there. He got off of his blocks. They filled holes,
Mm-hmm.
and then from there they swarmed. They got all over the ball carrier, and it wasn't just Henry. They got all over Mitchell too. They didn't really let Lamar get out of there either.
And even when Lamar did get out, there was usually a reason for it. And like the one where he took off and got a big gain. Well, it was called back because Herbig was being held. Like you could see Herbig was playing as the spy, and he like drops back, and the offensive lineman comes up because he kind of knows Lamar is taking off, and Herbig goes to make a move, and 64 has to grab him, and you get the holding. So whether it was the interior defensive lineman or it was the edge rushers, the defensive front had a really, really great game, and they needed to have a great game, whether it was stopping Derrick Henry or making Lamar uncomfortable. And listen, I said it before the game. I thought Lamar was going to have a couple of plays in which you were going to see MVP Lamar. That happened.
Yes, it did.
And one of them
he was healthier than I'd expected too.
Yeah. So you needed the defensive front, regardless of what state or shape or whatever Lamar and or Derrick Henry were in. They needed to have a great game, and they did. And it was needed, or they don't win that game.
If you might remember our final episode of the week leading into the Baltimore game, we closed that final episode by, amid all the dourness and everything else, pumping up Jorge because he was the only one who thought they were going to win. He says, DK, I told you, I felt it. The fellas won one for Jorge. It was amazing. Greetings from down south of the border. Good stuff from our man here. Al Saw says, how about if we just enjoy this win for a full 24 hours? Then he says, only. That's probably going to have to be the approach. Mike Tomlin tomorrow, he'll get into his pre-ramble about the Texans. It'll be 20 minutes long. You'll find out everything that you'd ever wanted to know about the Houston Texans and more.
Mm-hmm.
A lot more.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, they get Wednesday off.
Yep.
That's the whole,
Monday night thing. Yeah.
Monday night thing. Yeah, they're going to have Wednesday completely off, and then they show up for work on Thursday. They're going to practice Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Walk through Sunday. Serious football on Monday. Forceworks says that Rex Ryan complained this morning about the Ravens defense leaving the middle of the field open. Well, it's about time Rex put his foot down on that one.
They didn't leave the middle of the field open all night. I mean, there were times where the Ravens were in middle field closed. There were times where they were in middle field open. The one to Freiermuth, they were obviously in a too high look, and it was very, very much middle field open coverage. And Freiermuth ran a phenomenal stick and nod route, and Rodgers hit him. It was perfect. That's exactly what you want to do, and that's what you want to see. And that's, I think, we give the Steelers a hard time for this because they don't attack the middle of the field enough. But when defenses give them middle field open, they're obviously more prone to attack it. And that was very, very, it was very visible last night.
Have we reached the sad point as a society where you can tell a Rex Ryan foot joke and only 3 people in the community respond like they get it? Is that what's going on here? Or are we just going to abandon Rex Ryan foot jokes? I don't ever want to be that good. I'm not above that. I demand the right on this program to tell Rex Ryan foot jokes. Goes down at start. I mean, this isn't happening here. I keep trying. Nothing's going on here. No, it's not nearly as funny as Kenny Pickett hand jokes.
Oh no, it's not the same thing.
No, those are just mean. And saying that they smell isn't funny.
You would say that those jokes stink. That's what you would say. That's
jokes stink.
That would be the pun. Which, by the way, for all the pun.
Oh no!
Talk,
oh no! Oh no!
For all the pun hating, DK himself made a pun last night, and it was so good. I'll let you tell it.
No. I don't even remember it.
He said the Steelers are going to watch that missed field goal on an endless loop.
Oh my God, I did.
It was so good. It was so good. And the thing is, like, I gave you a hard time because you made a pun joke, but I'm like, hey, that's a good pun. There's a reason why. You should take pride in that. It was phenomenal. It's a great pun.
Yeah, at which point I was appropriately banned from the show. We had an episode where the Rex Ryan foot jokes really took off, and I don't remember. Some of them were just great, and today we just suck at this. There's like
that might have been while I was on vacation or something because I don't remember this at all.
No, Rex Ryan's take is toast.
It's a bit of a reach.
And you can't go for the one I already used that he's putting his foot down. Here, now see, this is Ben. Ben is trying here. Rex Ryan is a shoo-in for Analyst of the Year.
It's a nice little one.
That's all right.
That's a good one. Nice little golf clap on that one.
Boss approves over there. A shoo-in. He's a real heel. Here comes from Perk Jr. here before we lose total control of all this. Jaylen says, Jaylen played hard, man. I played college running back at W&J in Washington, PA. We know where W&J is, dude. It's Washington and Jefferson. For those of you who are out of the region and don't know, that would be your Washington and Jefferson presidents down there, Prexies. A couple of years ago. And seeing him come from a small school like me and do great things inspires me for sure. It's a great way to look at it. And you want to know something? Jaylen is one of those guys. He wears that badge, but he wears it with pride.
Oh, yeah.
There is a difference between the ones who come out of a small school but are bitter that they were ever left there. You know what I mean? You don't hear a whole lot about Antonio Brown in Central Michigan, for example, like AB going, yeah, man, Central Michigan pride or whatever else. It's just a farce to him that he was ever, that they waited till the 6th round. Obviously, it actually was.
Mm-hmm.
Jaylen's the real deal. He was something. He was something last night.
Some people don't know. I don't know if anybody's actually said it in the chat, but does anybody know what schools Jaylen was at before he went to Oklahoma State? Mm-hmm. Because if nobody knows, or if somebody knows, please put it in the chat. Because you might be able to guess one of them, but if somebody says JUCO school, that's okay. That's fine. Name the school without Googling it. Just saying, when you hear the whole small school thing, there you go, right there. Snow College.
Is that it?
Snow College.
What is Snow College?
It's a JUCO. I don't know anything about it other than that's where Jaylen Warren went. And yes, he did. We go to Utah State after that. But
Damien has a fair point to bring up on a second day observation. Says, are we concerned about Jalen Ramsey's angles? I guess it's angles. I guess to an extent, too. Of all things, I just first off, the completion to Isaiah Likely was a perfect pass in an even more perfect catch. It was breathtaking.
It was a great play.
From the Baltimore perspective, it should have been the play that put them in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
So my first thought was, wow, that was spectacular. My second viewing of it up on the press box monitor was, Ramsey could have done some damage there from his angle, from where he was coming in, the trajectory from behind, and really nobody did anything to disrupt likely.
The one thing I want to say, and I think Matt Williamson said this on his Scouts Eye podcast, so I want to give the genesis of this idea or theory credit where it's due. Jaylen is learning the safety position really for the first time.
That's fair point.
Yes, he's played it before, but just because you've played it before and filled in before doesn't mean you've really been a safety. Usually you're either a corner or you're a safety. There are very few guys who are defensive backs who can kind of play anywhere. Usually you fit into one role and you excel at it. It's what's required at the NFL level. And the players who have been phenomenal at multiple spots have been, Rod Woodson or Carnell Lake, really, really great players that can play multiple positions. I think, especially since the fact that it's not like he started the season now I'm transitioning from corner to safety. Literally in the middle of the season, he decides, we're thin there. We lost Deshaun. We need more help there. I'm going to go play safety. And he's still learning it. So I'll give him a little bit of leeway on the way he's playing there.
Guys, the NFL playoffs are finally here. It's time to check out the latest odds, futures, and win totals on the FanDuel Sportsbook. If you think the Steelers are going to beat the Texans for their first playoff victory since
January of 2018. No, 2017.
January of 2017 in Kansas City, Missouri, when Chris Boswell put six field goals through the uprights at old Arrowhead.
Oh,
if you think this
cold night too, yeah,
are taking care of that, it was insanely cold.
Yeah.
Lock in, don't get on me how far away the Chiefs had us parking and walking to the place. Lock in your bets today. Whatever your game, finish this.
Whatever your game, the FanDuel Sportsbook has all of the latest futures, odds, and win totals. The spread for this game, I already looked. 3.5. Texans are favored by 3.5. The over/under, I don't know what side of this I want to go on. Initially, I'm thinking way under, but the over/under is set at 39.5. And I'm like, yeah, Texans defense, they're one of the best in the NFL. You could even make an argument they're just with everything that they do, that they're the best defense in the NFL. They're up there. They're in the conversation for 3.
It's them or Cleveland. Yeah.
Or Denver. Denver's defense is Denver, Bo Nix has been really good. Sean Payton has been really good. In terms of they are the number 1 seed in the AFC because the defense is just
that is correct.
Yeah.
They've had that for a while. The offense came along.
Mm-hmm.
James Galloway says, how about that pass to Adam Thielen? It's just, he had a lot of passes in that second half. Rodgers did. We're very, very impressive here. Corrado says that the Ravens kicker had better odds to make it than for Boz to miss. That's not the L word, meaning luck. We aren't here if not for game 1 versus the Jets. Every game matters. I'm not worried about Boz. I can't even waste breath on him. As what happened, who the heck knows? BAT. Boz walks into every stadium with a bag the size of what Santa has with toys, full of mulligans, draped over his shoulder like this. And then occasionally he needs help carrying it in, like the equipment guys have to get involved. Those are all his mulligans. Does he want to miss a PAT? No. Did he also hit you a 57-yarder?
Yeah.
Did we even think about it when he did? Did we even go, wow, man, that's 57 yards?
I got to say, I do have to say, I was watching him before the game and kicking in that direction that he made the 57-yarder. He was short on multiple, 54-yard. I'm like, something's and then I start thinking the short kick in Cleveland, the miss in Detroit. I'm like, I don't know if there's something off, if he's dealing with something, battling something. But then he gets out there and kicks the 57-yarder and drills the 57-yarder. I mean, as soon as it came off his foot, I'm like, well, if that's straight, it's not just through.
Oh, it's going through the net.
Yeah, it's like what Cam Little did on his 67-yarder for Jacksonville. Which, by the way,
yeah, that's a
short
freak,
little
man.
sidebar. But
we saw him hit one from a mile away in that preseason
70.
game in Jacksonville.
70, yeah. No, but when Boswell hit that 57-yarder, I'm like, okay, no, he's fine. The missed extra point, man. I don't know.
I'll tell you, there's I don't want to call it a meme because they're making it like a report. This is one of those classic cases of something that's 100% wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But because it gets put on the internet and because there's some blue check marks attached to it on Twitter, you go, wow, this is actually true. This is a real thing about this priest who sprinkled some water. Okay, I didn't find out about this until way afterward, and I actually really don't care that much. But the priest sprinkles some water in one of the end zones. So the thing that went out today, and there's so many like actual media outlets that are running with this.
Mm-hmm.
That say, well, that place where he sprinkled that water, that's where the Baltimore kicker kicked into, and that's why he missed. And you can actually see with your own eyes on that video that the priest is sprinkling the water, and way in the background, 100-some yards away, is the actual end where the Baltimore kicker missed. So the priest sprinkling the water served only to mess up Boz's PAT. But everybody falls for it. There's like a zillion. This is that whole engagement farming thing. All these responses. Oh, what a miracle it was! Divinity. Da 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 da. It's literally the wrong end zone that they're showing, and you'd have to have only this much of a knowledge of Acrisure Stadium to know that. But I digress.
I will not be surprised if at some point, when we get to the stadium Monday evening before the game, that we see that same priest on the field sprinkling the end zones again. Because that's where sports fandom takes you. It just goes, oh, well, and then if they beat the Texans, I bet you that priest somehow gets flown to, to Foxborough or wherever the Steelers will be playing the next week to sprinkle that end zone too. That's just going to be the thing that just carries on.
And actually that sort of thing tends to get way worse as you go deeper into the playoffs and everybody's looking for some kind of immaculate reception, this or that.
Everybody holds on to something. I mean, shoot, man, like when the Penguins went on the Stanley Cup run in 2016, the HBK line, they like eventually Shawn Michaels himself literally is at one of the Penguins games. Like it becomes that much of a phenomenon.
Oh, yeah, for anybody, for any franchise that's having a good run. Well, Steelers haven't even started playoffs yet, so let's not Bonino them just yet.
They gotta win a playoff game before you can start saying they're going on a run. They gotta win a playoff game.
Jordan says that Houston is a dome team and it'll be cold and blowing on Monday night. Houston's a good team.
And their strength is on the defensive side of the ball. That usually travels pretty well.
Yeah, you're not going to weather them. This isn't going to be the Dolphins. I haven't even looked. What's the weather forecast?
I haven't seen it. I know that like this week is going to be like weirdly warm. Like this week is going to be, I think it's like going to be in the 50s a couple of days, but I think it's going to start getting colder. Yeah. I think it's going to start getting colder. I'll look at it real quick.
All right, you do that. We're going to take just a couple more here today. Mark Cunningham says even serial killers make mistakes here.
High of 34, low of 26. So
it's just football weather.
Yeah, it's football weather.
It's football weather. People, I don't even know if they realize it. I mean, it was pretty wet and soggy last night.
Yeah.
Al brings up here, is rewatching that loop miss kick. Is it possible that Ben Skoranek could have been called for leverage or jumping over the center? Anything's possible. And I know that there was a whole lot of noise out of this in the Baltimore direction, and even Lamar Jackson made a little bit of a stink about it on social media, just saying, shake my head or something to that effect. That's a tough call to make. You do have a referee who is assigned to just watch that. and who is assigned to just watch the area of the long snapper.
Yep.
Can you imagine throwing the flag though? Could you imagine that? And the stadium's going berserk.
Yeah.
And most importantly, that whatever it is that Skoranek did would have had zero impact on that kick, one way or the other. If nothing else, it's a lesson. Got to be more careful.
Well, the one thing that I will say about, because the Baltimore side is pointing at the penalty that was called on them that gave the Steelers another crack at the end zone instead of settling for a field goal, which they did. They did get into the end zone. Now, the NFL told Harbaugh and them they messed up on that call, that it should not have been called a penalty. So usually when that kind of stuff happens, it's got to be pretty egregious for that same penalty, especially when it's a penalty that's a lot more rare. It's not holding on the offensive line, or it's not pass interference on a corner. This is a penalty that that's not called very often. And so usually there's a lot more attention, and it's got to be something that's usually pretty egregious for them to be like, oh yeah, that's definitely a leverage call. So it does not surprise me that it wasn't called, even though in a vacuum, you could at least make a case for it. At least. I still don't think it's an actual penalty, but I can see where the vitriol's coming from.
Yeah, in looking over the game, there's a couple of things that happened special teams wise that really need to get cleaned up. And the extra points, the low-hanging fruit. But
oh, yeah.
Right
the
after
kick return.
that, the kick return.
God. That can't happen.
You never see. Chris, you and I talk about this all the time. These new kickoffs never result in anything even remotely interesting. And then this guy, all of a sudden, at the worst possible time, goes gashing up the right side.
To the 48, the Baltimore 48, yeah.
And who tackled him?
I don't remember. Who did tackle him?
Boz.
Oh, Boswell done. Oh, yeah.
That's scary stuff, man.
Well,
if you're Danny Smith, that's all you're doing all week. You're shoving that in everybody's face.
Oh, so that's why, because I've seen fans complain in the middle of the game in a similar situation like that, where Boz just kicks it 5 yards past the end zone. And you're like, why are you just giving them the ball at the 35? I'm like, because no matter what, they're not getting the ball past the 35-yard line. That's why you do it. You're like, okay, I would rather make sure no matter what, they're not getting the ball past this particular yard line than to take a chance. And yeah, if you make the play, great, you get them deeper. But if you don't make the play, that could happen. And yeah, that should have been another time in which Boswell just booted it through the end zone. But usually that kind of stuff is directed either by Danny Smith or straight from Mike Tomlin. Hey, either blast it through the end zone or, hey, try to pin them deep.
Wow, we're trying to outduel each other for most ill-advised comments, and as we end near the chat. Want to pick one out of these, Chris? How about this one? Here's Patrick Queen did not want to tackle Derrick Henry. Okay.
Well, there was one where I'm pretty sure he drove Henry back 2 yards.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
You and your facts. This one's great. Steal the Curtain says, Metcalf grabbing a fan is textbook assault.
Here we go. Show's going off the rails again.
Wow. Just tell me that. Just put down here. Just put on the screen that you actually have no idea what happened and you've never even seen the video. Just do that. Do that instead. Yeah, all of this is. I think it's getting time to. It's getting time to close up the show here. Whenever it's getting that bad here. Yeah, Jay Mood says, "Don't showcase the trolls from the old uncle table." That's good stuff here. But hey, at least nobody mentioned that that one team or the other was trying to prevent the other from getting a sack record against them in a game that they needed to win. It's still the leader in the clubhouse, kids. Dumbest single concept anybody's brought up.
You know,
all
you
year
want to.
long. Oh, William says we haven't
Yeah,
talked
there we
enough
go.
about the NFL script writers.
Now, I will say, I love the fact that when Garrett did break the record against the Bengals, Zach Taylor was livid. And it's not because they gave up the sack record. It's because they were trying to play up tempo and hurry to get back to the line. And the officials stopped the game so that like Garrett could be celebrated for breaking the record. And he's like, we have a pregame meeting with the referees. They never told us that was a possibility of happening. And I think the way
Did they ask? That's probably the question, to say, did you just assume that they wouldn't stop the game?
Yeah.
And the truth is, the breaking of the sack record, if you go back over decades now, first of all, it doesn't happen all that often. But when it has, it's been a fairly big deal, sometimes for the wrong reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning when a quarterback purposely gives himself up and embarrasses himself on that front. I believe that was Brett Favre and who was it? Was it Reggie Smith? Who did Brett Favre give
When
himself?
Favre laid down?
Yeah.
I honestly don't remember. That wasn't Strahan.
It was Strahan.
It was
Strahan. Yeah, I take that back. It was Strahan. Yeah, definitely Strahan. And it was the record had belonged to Mark Gastineau, and Gastineau confronted all that other stuff. All right, guys, we're out of here. We'll be back tomorrow with more fun. Again, it's a Mike Tomlin Tuesday. We will have all kinds of stuff from Chris on the scene over there, and lots of football talk. And don't forget that before that, we have a hockey show, and the hockey team is really, really, really well right about now.
On fire.
Don't forget our double shot of Penguins as well that takes place at 3:30, leading into this one at 4. See you guys tomorrow.